It's Wednesday again. That means another Ask AJ again. The sun is shining here in the Lake District, and I have the very sunny Lois here with me on the sofa. Phil said he hadn't got time for this, but Phil is still going to interject with comments from behind the camera. Yeah, he's got time to commentate on it, so we're just going to ignore him. So Lois is, I suppose you'd call yourself a receptionist, office manager. The most important person here, obviously. Phone answerer. Offer fielder. So that's what we're going to talk about. Yes. So we've had several offers on 2 houses that are on the market, both at sort of around the $500,000, let's say, sort of range, and they've both been super popular. Who have been popular with? What kind of people?
George. Families who have been looking to move to the area for quite some time, or at least a year. Both of these would like to relocate here.
From where they relocating from?
One from Chester.
Right. Chester to the Lake District. I really like Chester.
And the other one is for a different home is from LA / New York.
LA/New York.
Yeah.
What? They live on both coasts?
Yes. Yeah.
And they come into the Lake District?
Yes.
Okay. But they're relocating, so they're actually going to be living in the houses?
But the UK base one is not a relocation. They already had a UK lakes base and they are looking for another.
Right, okay. So that's going to be second
the
home.
relocation is from Chester. The other one, I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but somewhere.
She's got a head full of offers at the moment. Yeah. What I've noticed, I think, is that if it's north of $1 million, the house is more likely to be a second home, and if it's under 500,000, it's more likely to be a first home. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Which is probably the opposite way around to the way people think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You think if it was a cheaper home, then they'd just buy it as a second home.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's usually the way around. If you've got £1 million to spend on a house here. Yeah. So the offers have come in on these 2 homes. What are you actually doing with those offers? What's the process?
Well, so they tend to come in quite excitedly with the asking price, is what I found fairly recently.
Do they think the asking price is going to secure the house? Is that what they think? Yeah, okay.
Probably, yeah. And sometimes it can. Sometimes if they're in a really strong position and they're offering the asking price, then great. But what we're seeing at the moment, of course, is there's either multiple offers of the asking price, or we've got an offer substantially higher, which has happened, and people are just wanting to clinch the deal.
So they're offering a bit sort of over.
Yeah, they're going in high.
Do you think they get a bit of competitive frenzy?
Yes, yeah.
I want that house.
Yeah, to try and eliminate everybody else.
Maybe the ladies in the background going, I want that house, I don't need to pay whatever we need to pay for it. But
they just want everyone out of the picture.
But there's a sort of jigsaw to make up of what an offer looks like, isn't there? So time frame, whether that person's cash, whether that person's mortgage. And then this morning, we've had offers on a house where the owner also owns some sheds, is that right? Or some buildings, some agricultural buildings.
No, the neighbour does.
The neighbour does, sorry. And next to the house.
Yeah, these barns would suit this buyer perfectly. Because he has... Can I say?
You can say.
He has classic cars and he needs somewhere to store them. So he's a relocation, this gentleman. And he would be looking to pay, £40,000 a year in rent for somewhere separate, whereas here there's potential that he could store his classic car collection.
So I suppose
right next to his house.
In some ways that makes him a more secure buyer, doesn't it? Because what we could advise the seller is, look, this guy is not only investing in the house, he's also investing in quite a high rental next door, and therefore he's very unlikely to back out of this purchase because, let's face it, where is he going to find storage for a classic car collection? That's going to be hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's another element there for him.
So he might be worth more as a buyer, even if he pays, let's say, £10,000 less. But it could be if he was paying £50,000 less, then we would then say to the seller, look, we would probably go with this higher offer. But also some people think that a mortgage offer as in somebody who's getting a mortgage and has cash to put to it, is worth less than a cash offer if the offers were the same price. But actually, what we've found is that somebody who needs a mortgage has got to jump through so many hoops to get the mortgage that by the time they've got the mortgage secured, they're actually a very secure purchaser. And somebody with cash can kind of go, oh, I'll buy it, oh, I won't buy it, oh, I'll buy it, oh, I won't buy it. And we've had that before. We had this actually a couple of years ago, before your time probably, Lois, on a lovely house over near Burnside, and absolutely adorable owners. They were so, so sweet, and we knew we had to get them the best possible price for their house. And they had 2 offers come in, and one was £5,000 shy of the other one. And the one that was £5,000 lower needed a mortgage, and very importantly was relocating from Bristol with 3 children, all primary school age. They'd been into the primary school, they'd had them accepted, they'd bought the uniform, and the mum and dad were relocating their businesses or their jobs or whatever. So that was, they were invested. Yeah. The other lady, and listen, we're just trying to, make decisions based on only the facts that we have. The other lady was a lady who'd come from the Shetland Isles, or the Hebrides, one of the two, can't remember which, and she lived on her own. She had way more money than she needed, because we have to ask for proof of funds to buy this house, which is only in the 400s, I think, or 500s. And we felt that a lady on her own, even though she'd offer £5,000 more, could change her mind very easily. A conversation with a friend that would go, oh, I don't think you should buy in Burnside. That could be it. That could be all off the table. Whereas this whole family were moving their entire lives, and they were really invested in the process, and they genuinely didn't have the other £5,000 to put to it. So we had a meeting with the owners and laid out the facts, and then gave them our guidance, which was actually, we felt that the buyers for £5,000 less would probably be worth more to them eventually. And they really liked the idea of this family living there. They brought up their family there and going to local school and everything. It means a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think some people think that the only thing that matters to a seller is the price that they achieve, but it's worth so much more than that, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah, somebody who you can feel like you can rely on, as far as they can manage to anyway. Sometimes it's out their hands when the mortgage is involved.
Although I did have a conversation with one of our sellers who insisted on showing these 2 couples around the house. Maria was there, and she phoned me, and both offers had come at the same price, and she said, I just didn't trust the smile on that guy. I'm like, look, we've done our due diligence. They both seem to be trustworthy people. And actually it was higher. It was a higher offer. It was a higher offer of about 25,000. And we said, look, I think we should just trust his smile, and we should just go with the extra 25,000. And it went through. It was fine.
Yay.
But you don't always know. I mean, we had a ridiculous offer on a house the other day, and overnight they got a cold feet, didn't they, and pulled it out the next day. So you don't know. But what we can do is give our best possible advice. I did also have a friend that was trying to get a house locally in Bowness, and it was a fantastic opportunity. It was a refurbishment project, and she was buying off somebody who was like 3rd generation in the house, and she put a whole letter together outlining the fact it was going to be a local family living there and everything. I said that'll be good for about £10,000. Any different from that letter won't make any difference at all. But if somebody goes in at the same price as you, then that letter will make a difference. So it's always worth packaging it up. We will always pass on a letter or an email or that information to an owner and let them make their own mind up. At the end of the day, it's their choice. We had somebody the day that offered an amazing plot to his neighbour for £50,000 less than we'd valued it at, because he wanted his neighbour to have it. So it's not always about the money. There's a lot more to it. And Lois is like a juggler at the moment, aren't you?
At the moment, yeah.
Juggle on that house. Juggle on that house. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be busy.
But you are funny because you go, yeah, I want him to have it because he was so nice to me on the phone. It goes a long way.
Dealt with them from the start.
Be nice to Lois, you'll get the house you want.
Will.
That is actually the solution.
Backing.
Yeah, Lois will be rooting for you. She'll be your little cheerleader.
We just need a little conversation. I'll be backing
She probably would do that for chocolates and flowers as well. So, all right, well there you go. You've met Lois. I'm sure you've met her before actually, but thanks very much for being on Sofa for the Ask AJ. Hopefully Phil's got his work done and he hasn't commentated too much.
Say thanks, Phil.
I've just finished actually.
We're on our way to Skipton. So we'll say goodbye and enjoy the rest of the sunshine today. And I won't tell anybody, don't worry Phil, that you ran out of petrol on the lake last night. I won't mention it at all. Bye.